Hey guys, this is Vicky with Sun and Crosser Creations. You do not want to miss this lighted centerpiece that we're going to make from two of these forms that I picked up at Hobby Lobby for $5.99 each with 50% off. You're going to zip tie the tops of them together. Don't worry about it not lining up. It will be fine. We're going to cover all of that up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab a styrofoam block from Dollar Tree, and that's what we're going to use to create a centerpiece. So I went ahead and took that apart. And then what you're going to do is you're going to zip tie the bottom of that form together as well. These are the little fall minis from Magnolia Design Co. I grabbed these little wooden leaves from Hobby Lobby as well, and I think Dollar Tree has something similar. You're going to put the chalk paste all over the stencil, pull it off, and it says Happy Harvest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to zip tie the bottom and then zip tie our foam to the form as well. So these zip ties I actually got at Dollar Tree, so you're going to need several of them, so make sure you grab a pack of those when you go. Okay, and then you're going to put two zip ties together so that it will fit, one on each side of the foam, and you're going to zip tie that to the form itself, just like that. Once you get that in place, I'm going to show you several of the things that I use. Now, you don't have to use these. You can use what you have, but I picked these up at 50% off at Hobby Lobby. Those two right there did not have a stem on them, and they actually just gave them to me because the stem was broken off of them. But what I did is I didn't like that particular small one, the stem of that one, so I went ahead and just wrapped some twine around it and then cut it off, and it just made it look a little bit more natural than that plastic stem there. I went ahead and did that to both of these. And again, you can get several different picks at Walmart, Dollar Tree. There's several different places, and Hobby Lobby obviously, but you could use what you have. You could do fall leaves. There's so many. I'm just here to inspire you just to kind of get creative, but I knew we could do something with these metal forms. Okay, I grabbed these little scarecrows. I thought he was adorable. They were $16.99 with 50% off, and I got three of them, so I'll be using those other two as well. Several of the picks that I picked up at Hobby Lobby along with these lights, y'all, and I love them because they have several different settings, but they're on a timer, so you don't have to worry about trying to remember to turn them off. And those were all actually at Hobby Lobby as well. Okay, and then what I did with this pick, all the picks I got at Hobby Lobby, you're just going to cut those apart. This is going to be a very natural, and almost like you would see, like, farmhouse style, because it kind of reminds me, the one pick reminds me of straw, and that's kind of what I was going for, and that's why I have the scarecrow. But again, this form right here gives you an idea that you can create a flower centerpiece for your Thanksgiving table out of these wire pumpkins. So make sure you grab them. They're 50% off at Hobby Lobby. Now, Dollar Tree does have a similar one. It is green. It is not, in my opinion, I have those as well. They're not sturdy enough to stand up on their own. So you're going to need something with a little bit more weight. And this is a heavier gauge wire that they made these out of. Okay, so all I'm doing, and I really tried with the camera location, it's just because this pumpkin was so wide that I had a hard time getting the whole thing in the frame. You can actually see some of my other flowers on below my work area there. But all I'm doing, you're not going to be able to see the left side of this until I hold it up and show you, but all I'm doing is the same on the right as the left. So whatever I'm doing that you're seeing in full view, I'm also doing on the other side as well. So all you're going to do is create some balance and put your picks, and again, you've seen me cut them all apart. I'm not using whole picks in these. Okay, so the next step to cover up that green area, because I did not want to put anything on the wire pumpkin, but I did need to cover that green. So I grabbed some of my moss. I know it's super messy, but once you get it on there and clean it up, it'll look really pretty on your table. All I did was hot glue that moss completely around the entire base of the green. You're going to continue to go all the way around. And again, it is messy to work with, so make sure you're in an area that you don't mind getting, pretty dirty. But all you're going to do is, again, just poke that right on the sides of the foam that you see there. I do want to take a minute just to thank you for being on my page. Thank you so much for passing it down the road, which means share. Sharing our videos is what really helps us be able to make more and just inspires us. As you share, it just inspires us to even create more. And so it's just a win for everyone. And I just thank you so much. You guys are awesome about sharing my videos. Thank you for just commenting and liking. And if you need a full supply list, just message me supplies and I'll get that list to you. Okay, now that we're all the way around the whole entire sides, then we're going to start with our pumpkins. So I only purchased one of the bigger pumpkin, and so that is going to go in the center. I always like to do the bigger ones, big things in threes. It just, you have two and then one, and that's kind of how I work. I do a lot of things in threes. Okay, so again, what you're seeing, what you just seen me do on the right side, I'm honestly doing that on the same, on the other side. So we're going to just create a balanced arrangement. Now, your pumpkins don't have to like face the same way and all of that. Don't get stressed out about it not looking exactly the same. You want it to be unique on each side. But basically, the balance that I'm talking about is one on each side that are the same. That's just kind of the way I work. I know there's lots of ways to make flower arrangements. This is just kind of how I do mine. Okay, this pick again, I also got it at Hobby Lobby. All of their fall stuff is 50% off. And so even some of these items you could literally use for other arrangements throughout the year. So make sure that you look at these, flowers and picks and stuff, and it not necessarily has to be for fall. Obviously, these are pretty fallish, but some of them are not. Okay, and then once like I said, what I'm doing on the right side, I'm also doing on the left, and I'm just kind of putting some green towards the bottom of my pumpkin. I will put a couple of those in the top, but that just draws your eye to that base as well. And then, it kind of breaks up all of the tan natural things that are going on. And then I'm also going to add some other little picks that are orange right here, and you'll see those, and those just will tie in the beak of the scarecrow, or actually not scarecrow, the crow, and then also the other pumpkin that I will be adding into there. Now these I actually had, but I want to tell you, I'm pretty sure I've seen these at Hobby Lobby as well. They may not look exact, but try to check in those there as well. But like I said, the orange little picks, I've had them, but I'm sure you can find something pretty similar. Okay, so there's where you see both sides. And again, I really tried to bring my camera up really super high. It just wasn't, then it was so far away, it wasn't, you weren't able to see a whole lot. So this is kind of how I had to do it. So I apologize if you can't see both sides and that bothers you. Okay, and then once I get that middle pumpkin in, then I start adding a little bit of these picks with the greenery around the inside part of my arrangement. Again, don't get overly stressed about them not sitting the exact same way. Nature is very random, and you want things to look very natural. Not everything grows exactly the same way. So that's what I always try to keep in mind. Now, remember I told you I got these free because they didn't have the sticks on them. So back to my, My go-to is my barbecue skewers. I just went ahead and hot glued those right onto there, and voila, you had them. They're perfect to just poke in there. That one tended to come off, but I went ahead and hot glued. I think I was working too quickly for it. Okay. And then what I did is I just filled in around the base of that pumpkin too as well. Now I've obviously fast forward the video or sped up the video, so you're not seeing in real time. But a lot of people want to know. So this arrangement took me about 45 minutes. Obviously, 45 minutes is a long time to watch a video online. I mean, obviously you can, but I didn't want to lose anybody, and so I always try to speed it up a little bit, which some of it is just, me placing it and then pulling it back out and hot gluing it. For you guys that have been around for quite a while, that's kind of how I work. I try to put it in, and then if I like the placement, then I'll go back and hot glue. So you really didn't miss anything. It was just kind of a little bit better for me to speed it up. Okay. Now, once I got all of my pumpkins in there, and again, there's the ones, one at the very top and then one underneath. They're just kind of like they were stacked and kind of growing that way. And then all I did is I went through and I just filled in any places that I thought needed a little bit of something. Okay, now we're going to work on that stem part at the top. I did not want to leave it together like that. I wanted it to have some kind of texture on it. So I went to my go-to with my Dollar Tree rope and went ahead and hot glued it all the way around. Now you'll see me putting it between the stem there. That's because the stem was, it wanted to make the rope kind of, not sit on each other. It was kind of like, had little gaps. And so, all I did to fix that was to put a little bit of hot glue there to make sure on both sides, to make sure that I glued the rope together, if that makes sense. So when I went around, I made sure the rope was glued to each other as I went up. And then I did put a little bit on the corners there on the side of the metal, but generally it's mainly putting it on the rope itself. And then you're just going to go completely all the way up the top. Once you get up to the top, you're going to circle it on itself, if that makes sense. And you'll see kind of how I did that. I didn't overlap the rope on the metal. I just continued, even though the metal was gone, I continued to act like it was there and just wrap it around and loop it until I got to the center of the stem there. Hope that makes sense. And as you can see, it's on, it's laying on top of each other, so there's not any gaps on the stem. And how cute did that come out? I just thought it came out super cute. Okay. The very last thing that I wanted to add, besides this little crow, I just thought he was so sweet, and he's just kind of a little surprise sitting in there. I started to put him there, but I did end up moving him because I felt like he was just very hidden. So you'll see him moved a little bit here in a minute. I didn't video that part of it, but you'll see me move him a little bit higher up. Okay. The very last thing that I did to this was add those lights, and y'all, they were so pretty. I felt like the camera was just not, the video was just not putting, there's where I moved the little crow, but it just was not capturing the beauty that these orange lights gave to this arrangement. It was so pretty. I should have turned the lights off and took a picture of it, but I did not. But it just came out so pretty. Okay, then what you're going to do with this little tag that we created, this is just an extra. You don't have to do it, but it was just something extra. I left it that natural look because it kind of matched already with the pics that I had. And then you're just going to loop your twine through it, which also pulls in the twine from the stems. And then I just tied it in a bow and looped it over the pumpkin stem of that orange pumpkin stem. And you'll see it there, right there. All I did was just hot glue the knot right to the top of that pumpkin stem. And it was just something when it's sitting on the table, it's kind of a little bit eye level for people when they are sitting eating dinner. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Look how cute this came out, and there's not a whole lot into this. I just thought it came out super cute. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you try this. I hope you do. Thank you guys again for being here. Thank you for following along, inspiring me to inspire you. Again, thank you for sharing the videos, passing it down the road. And if you do need the supplies, I will just message me supplies and I'll go ahead and get those supply lists to you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys for being here again. For more, you can also go to southerncrossroadcreations.com. I am also on YouTube as well, and it's a little bit easier to follow the videos over there because they're all categorized. Again, thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.